I was homeless for a couple of months due to various factors that influenced my life, and it made me homeless. I was never living on the streets, but I was flitting between people's houses and my family's house, and I just wanted sort of, I'd say, a fresh start and get on my own 2 feet. And Mayors provides a house, roof over your head, but also provides sort of one-to-one direct contact with counsellors and various other people who can help you get back into work. So yeah, it's just a place that you can almost feel safe and you can have some refuge away from the manic life that I used to live. So it kind of grounds me here and keeps me busy. And I've worked all my life, so it's not really a case of trying to get back into work, but it's sort of a place where you can reset and hopefully move on. Yeah.
So have you noticed a big positive change in your life since you've came
Yeah,
here?
definitely. It's sort of what it does. It kind of brings you away from any sort of cycle that you were fixed in before, and kind of gives you a new ground and a new sort of focus in life, away from the things that were affecting my life previous to now. So yeah, I mean, I'm back on track, getting contact with my family again, rekindling sort of relationships with friends. The leaders and the staff members here are really good to provide sort of 24-hour assistance and care if you're having any problems or worries or anything. So yeah, it's definitely changed my way of thinking from maybe being quite negative to being quite optimistic. Yeah. Okay, so obviously the work's very important because that raises money for the charity. So that's one key element. Inevitably, if we don't work, then we don't have the roof over our head. But I suppose it's a sense of, how do I put it? Maybe getting back into a daily routine of work instead of just flitting between jobs and one thing and another. It kind of gives you daily structure and gives you the opportunity to converse with other companions here, but also just dealing with the general public always causes challenges and whatever. So it's a sense of getting back to maybe a normal, if there is such a word as normal, sort of routine that the majority of people in the country follow, which is like a 9 to 5, getting up, having some sort of responsibility, some sort of you relied heavily on certain things, and we sell items here, and it's a lot of trust as well. And I think it's just a sense of getting back to a good solid structure in my life, as opposed to being quite manic. So what I find here is, which I didn't really know, it kind of seems like a little bit of a hub for the community, especially for the local, maybe a specific demographic of the local community who financially struggle, whether that be their own personal issues or whether it's just that's how people live. I'm not too sure, but we have Lucy's Pantry next door. Don't know if you know Lucy's Pantry. So that's a sort of, I wouldn't say it's a food bank, but it's almost like a subscription food service where people pay £2.50 a week and they get up to £20 worth of food. So for people who maybe are financially struggling, maybe on benefits or have a large family and struggle to meet ends meet, I think Emmaus provides an avenue for them to live a better life as well. And our what I find as well, we get a lot of people, especially maybe the elderly, who come into Emmaus charity shop just for a chat, and it seems to be a bit of like a how would I put it, like a place where people can socialise, feel a bit safe. That a lot of our regular customers know our history, and I think they feel quite comfortable to converse with us about their issues as well. And it's quite an open community, really. And the same with all the other shops and all the other amenities across the country. Not only does it provide a good base for people as our companions, but I think it also provides quite a good central hub for the local community.
So you've noticed that the local community really sort of like interacted well with you and really sort of taken the shop to its heart. So.
Yeah, I'd agree, and you can see that by the sheer amount of donations we get. We get a serious amount of donations donated to us, whether it just be DVDs all the way through to high-end sofas, couches, bedding. We also provide things like house clearances. I think a lot of people come to us because we provide a good quality service, but also they know that the money's not going to some sort of corporate, pot where people just, all the top workers take the money and then the workers don't get anything, because their donations directly affect us as a community and as companions. So I think it works both ways. We provide quite a good quality service, but people help our service because they know the good work it does. Yeah, so I do.
So Social Enterprise UK has sort of set up a campaign this week to sort of encourage people to buy from organisations like Emmaus and social enterprises across the country. Do you think it's important that people get involved with organisations like this?
I do, because I think in this current climate there's a lot of people who are struggling, but a lot of people who are struggling who kind of keep it to themselves and aren't very open about the struggles that people are going through. And I think charities such as Emmaus, they provide a lot more help than maybe the face value of the charity kind of shows. Like I said, with the local people who are coming in for food and people who are coming in just for cheaper goods. So we get a lot of people who are move into local council housing who use us as a base to get cheaper good quality items for the flat. And we also provide a service for other charities that we actually give items for free to help people. So there's other like communities and charities in the local area, and we kind of bounce off each other. So say for example, I can't name any off the top of my head, but there's a local charity who provide things for people who actually physically are on the streets. So when we get donations like sleeping bags or warm clothing, we donate that free. So we don't take any money for that. We got it for free, and not only do we want to help the people, the companions in Emmaus, but we also want to help other people who aren't maybe here. So I think we can almost be like a third party to help other people as well as us. I think reaching out to charities provides a lot more help than maybe what people know. I'd say so, yeah. So
there's a real network of organisations in Salford that are helping each other.
Yeah, for sure. We get food donated. Well, we don't get. It's like another subscription service from a company called Fair Share. So I don't know if you've heard of Fair Share, but it's a company that gets excess food from supermarkets. So for example, or if an excess good has been made that they can't sell to a supermarket, so that's the company that provides the food that we sell then on to people in Lucy's Pantry. But if we ever get any excess of anything and we won't sell it in time for the sell-by date, we just give it to other charities. So there's like people who make food on the streets for people outside the vans, or there's other charities that maybe don't have that connection with Fair Share that we do. So we kind of spread the joy almost. Like if we've got something that we're not going to use, then we should always give it to someone who needs it, because there's always a demand, especially around this area. I feel that with the economic climate around here, I think there's a lot of people who need help, and it'd be nice for people to know that we're here to help. All the money that's made in this charity goes towards helping others and helping us here. It's not a case of a profit-making organisation. Everything if our centre's making more money than another centre, then we send money from here to another centre. So it's not every centre for itself. It's kind of a group as a whole. So yeah, I think that there's a lot more help to be provided than what people think, and especially people companions who come in here who maybe don't have a driving licence, who don't have any qualifications, or need some sort of psychological help and support. Emmaus provides all that free of charge. So there's a lot of people who don't have driving licences and who are getting driving licences now and getting driving lessons, or people like myself. I've gone to see some drug counsellors, and they've been really, really helpful. And the access, and Emmaus provides a very good sort of way of reaching them sort of services that maybe you would get pushed back on if you were on your own, because the sheer waiting list of things. I went to a GP and asked for some drug counselling, and he said come back in 6 months. Where when I came here, within a couple of weeks, I've been signed up. So I think companions who come in here, it shows the outside community that you really wanted to make a change, and not just taking the system for a ride sort of thing. So not only does it provide shelter and home and food on your plate, but it also provides a way of structuring your life and getting your psychological issues or your financial situation sorted to then be able to move on. So I think Emmaus's goal isn't for people just to stay here for the rest of their lives. Emmaus's goal here is to reset you and then to help you move on.